Welcome to Satish Science Teacher YouTube channel. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Today we are going to see the book back evaluations from Standard 7, Term 3, Social Science, under the Social Science, Civics Unit 2, Market and Consumer Protection. In this lesson, we are going to study about the consumers, produce, and their categories like that we are going to see. So before going to see the lessons and its book back evaluations, please do subscribe and don't skip in between anything in between the video, because if you skip it you will lose some of the main points, because this lesson also carries very good, interesting and important informations on the consumer and marketing. And if you are tuning first time in this YouTube channel, please do subscribe and do share with your friends and do some comments also, that also are welcome. And don't forget to press the bell icon which is next to subscribe button, then only you will get all the notifications about the videos which is released by us. So thanks for listening and thanks for subscription. If you are not yet subscribed but keep on watching, please you also do subscribe. Okay, let's see the lesson. Whenever we speak about market, our mind visualizes a crowded place with a lot of shops and huge number of consumers, and the consumers are in long queue, are crowded to buy groceries, clothes, electronic items, etc., even to buy their cinema tickets. So what is market? It refers to the shop for a commodity or a set of commodities. So markets are not restricted to one physical or geographical location or area. It covers any area wherever the people are gathered or wherever the people are live. There is a relationship between the sellers and buyers is known as business relation. So what is business relation? Sometimes they may be asking, business relation is occurs between dash and dash, that may be sellers and buyers. So that is the basis of relation. And the sellers may aware about the consumers demand and their choices and their preferences and the trends, etc., then only they will do their marketing very well. So the sellers may aware and should aware about the consumers demand. So that also one of the important in this lesson. And on the basis of geographical locations, the markets are local market, regional market, national market and international market. On the basis of the time, very short period and short period market and long period market. On the basis of regulation, regulated market. So regulated market means there is a oversight by the government authorities. So without the government authorities approval, you cannot sell it anything. That is the regulated market. Whereas the unregulated market, there is no absolutely free market. There is no oversight on regulation or no oversight. The market forces decide everything. So the marketers or the sellers can decide everything here. Whereas the regulated market, the government will decide, because the government have always the oversight by the appropriate government authorities. Okay, so on the basis nature of competitions, it is a type of market structure. Types of market structure: purely competitive market, perfectly competitive market and imperfectly competitive market. And the same time, the type of imperfect competition is monopoly, monopolistic competition and oligopoly. So monopoly, what do you mean by monopoly? Monopoly refers to a market structure in which where there is a single producer or single seller. He only controls the entire market. Whereas the monopolistic competition, here the monopolistic combination is a combination of monopoly and perfect of competition. So monopolistic competition refers to a market situation in which there are large number of buyers and sellers of the products. However, the product of each seller is different in one aspect of the other. So some say example, one seller is selling the electronic goods and another seller selling the groceries and another seller selling the clothes, like that. So it may be depends upon the sellers. Okay, so they here the different type of sellers are there. So that is the monopolistic competition. So in oligopoly, what is oligopoly? The oligopoly has been derived from the two Greek words. They may be asked, oligopoly has been derived from dash words, Greek words. Okay, this is the answer and one of the main points. And who is consumer? The consumer is a person who purchases a product. So we are also the consumers, because we are going to buy some vegetables from the grocery shop and we are going to buy some of the dress clothes from the textile showroom, like that. So we are the consumer. So the consumer is a person who purchases a product. So there is a need of governing the consumers. So in order to that, the government takes some of the necessary actions for the unfair trade practices. Unfair trade practices means they are not doing very well. Some of the sellers are not doing very well. They maybe cheat the consumers in the price. Sometimes they are selling the products with the light with high amount, but their cost price is very very low. So like that, these are the unfair trade practices. So to avoid these unfair trade practices, the government will guide them under the Consumer Protection Act. The government oversight all the trades. So this is known as Consumer Protection Act. So I don't know how many of you know about this. No refund under any circumstances. No exchange, goods once sold will not be taken back. These three lines are frequently we are noticing in the textile showroom or any electronics good item. But it is a unfair trade practice. So it does not carry any legal weight. So you can complain against those sellers. So these are the fraudulent statements. Those under the doing of section they give. So consumer protection is linked to the ideas of consumer rights and to formation of consumer organizations. So the government will guide you how to do all these activities. And Telecom Regulatory Authority of India is one of the consumer protection. TROI and Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, that is IRDAI India. So they may be asking TROI stands for Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. IRDAI, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. TROI is responsible for the network distribution and the amount fixed by the TROI only. So if you buy the plan of a mobile pack 299 350 or 1 year pack or 28 days pack or only the data pack, whatever it may be, these packs are continuously watched and the rates are determined under the guidelines of TROI only. Whereas the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDA, it regulates it regulates and controls the all the insurance companies. The insurance are two types. One is life insurance, another one is medical insurance, health insurance. The third one is vehicle insurance, assets insurance. So three type of insurance are there. So these insurances policies and the insurance companies are guided under the control of IRDAI. And there are 8 basic consumer rights: the right to basic needs, the right to safety, the right to information, the right to choose, the right to representation, the right to redress, the right of consumer education, the right to healthy environment. So the 8 basic consumer rights, they may be asked the dash number of basic consumer rights are practiced in India. The answer is 8. And what is COPRA stands for? COPRA, COPRA, the Consumer Protection Act 1986 stands for COPRA. And consumer disputes redressal agencies, the National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, established by the central government, it deals with the matters more than 10 million. So they may be asking, the National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission deals with matters of dash amount, so more than 10 million. So next one is State Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, SCDRC. It takes up the cases valuing less than 10 million rupees. And the DCDRF, that is District Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum, it deals with the case valuing up to 2 million. And there are some of the Consumer Protection Act in the India. The first one is Consumer Protection Act 2019. So you should remember. And penalties for misleading advertisements. The CCPA may impose a penalty of up to Indian rupees, so 10 lakhs of manufacturer, if they are misleading any advertisement to buy the harmful products or useless products. So the CCPA may impose the penalty up to Indian rupees 10 lakhs of manufacturers. So that's all about some of the important acts in the consumer relation. The Consumer Protection Act 1987, the Legal Metrology Act 2011, the Bureau of Indian Standards Act 86, the Essential Commodities Act 1955, the Prevention of Black Marketing and Maintenance of Supplies of Essential Commodities Act 1980. So these are the Consumer Protection Acts which is found in and practiced in India. Okay, let's see the book back evaluations because this is the time for evaluations. So choose the correct answer. In which case a consumer cannot complain against a manufacturer for defective product. So batch number of the commodity. Consumers face various problems from the producers in due to unfair trade practices. So unfair trade practices are nothing but the cost to sell is very low, whereas the selling price is very high, or they may, sometimes they are trading the outdated items, or they are trading with useless products like that. The consumers must be provided with adequate information about a product to make a decision in purchase of goods is the answer for that question. The system of consumer courts at the national, state, district levels looking into consumers' grievances against unfair trade practices of businessmen and providing necessary compensation is called three-tier system. Mixing other extraneous material of inferior quality with a superior quality material is called adulteration. Fill in the blanks. A setup where two or more parties engage in exchange of goods, services, and information is called a market. In regulated markets, there is some oversight by appropriate government authorities. Monopoly refers to a market structure in which where there is a single producer or seller that has control on the entire market. So monopoly means there is a single seller. Copra statute is regarded to the Magna Carta in the field of consumer protection for checking unfair trade practices. Next one is match the following. The Consumer Protection Act was implemented in India in 1986. Year in 1986. The Legal Metrology Act was implemented in the year 2009. The Bureau of Indian Standards Act was implemented in 1986. The Essential Commodities Act was implemented in the India in the year 1955. So next one is assertion and reason type. In local markets, the buyers and sellers are limited to the local region or area. The market is not restricted to one physical or geographical location. Here, the both assertion and reason are true, but the R is not the correct explanation of A. Okay, so that's all about the book back evaluations from this session. Before closing this video, we go to the glossaries. Commodities, trade goods supplies, that is வியாபார பொருட்கள். Prevalent means எங்கும் இருக்கும் வழக்கமான அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். ஸோ கிளஸ்டர் தொகுப்பு குழல்திறன், இன்ஸ்டன்டேனியஸ்லி உடனடியாக அல்லது கனப்பொழுதில். ஸ்பியூரியஸ் மீன்ஸ் போலியான பொய்யான. வல்னரபிள் பாதிக்கப்படக்கூடிய இல்லாட்டி ஆபத்து நிறைந்த. ரெட்ரஸ் குறைகளை நிவர்த்தி செய்யும் ஒரு குறை தீர்க்கும் ஆணையம் தான் ரெட்ரஸ்ன்னு சொல்கிறது. பெக்யூனியாரி பொருள் சார்ந்த பண வகையான, தட் இஸ் ரிலேட்டிங் டு மை அண்ட் ஃபினான்ஷியல். ஸோ ஏன் இந்த க்ளாசரி நம்ம பிஃபோர் கம்ப்ளீட்டிங் தி லெசன்ஸ் பார்க்குறோன்னா, சம்டைம்ஸ் இந்த டிஎன்பிஎஸ்சி எக்ஸாமினேஷன்ஸ் தே ஆர் ஆஸ்கிங் கமாடிட்டிஸ், வாட் யூ மீன் பை கமாடிட்டிஸ் அப்படின்னு கேட்டுட்டு கீழே வந்து இதுக்கான மீனிங்ஸ் கொடுத்துருக்கலாம். ஸோ அப்போ வந்து தமிழில் கேட்டது, தமிழில் எழுதுகிறவங்க வந்து இதை தமிழ் யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கோங்க, இங்கிலீஷில் எழுதுகிறவங்க இங்கிலீஷில் பாருங்கள். சம்டைம்ஸ் தே பி ஆஸ்கிங். ஸோ அதுக்காக தான் இதை பார்த்துட்ருக்கோம். ஸோ தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் லிசனிங் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் competitive examiners. Thanks for once again watching, and this is the time for subscription if you are not yet subscribed. So please do subscribe and do share with your friends, then only your friends also get benefited. And this is the time for signing off from me, Satish, science teacher. Thank you.